And there are two extremes of this. Someone who just has a deep knowingness within, they look at the stars and they feel homesick. They have this deep truth within them that they do not belong on earth. It's a resonance with somewhere else. It's that feeling of I'm from somewhere else. And then the other extreme of someone who's like, greetings, dear ones. I am the Pleiadian commander of Naboo, or something like that, which is just awkward, right? And I think I threw a Star Wars reference in there. Hello, beautiful souls, beautiful awakened souls. Welcome back to another video on Starseed Academy. My name is Jenny. So today we're going to be talking all about how to find your Starseed origins. What does that really even mean? And how can you personally kind of narrow down that for yourself? Because I know that a lot of people, especially as they're first going through an awakening, have all kinds of questions about, what kind of starseed am I? Where am I from? They have like a strong knowingness that they're not from Earth. And of course, then that leads you to wonder, like, where is home? And it feels really important. It is really important to develop that, sense of identity, to dig up who you truly are. So what I'm going to do today is take something that seems like a really complicated topic and actually just completely simplify this for you, make it so easy for you to understand, and then also figure out for yourself. Okay, so hang tight, that's all coming up, but I just want to remind you to please like this video, share this video, and subscribe for new videos on this channel every single Sunday, and then come follow me over on Instagram for new kinds of information and content. Okay, so let's jump right in with no further ado, how to find your starseed origins. So the first thing that I want to talk about, I need to preface this entire conversation first with the most essential truth. You, who you are really, is an internal soul within. You are the batteries inside of a doll, basically, right? So if you had a doll when you were a kid where you put the batteries in the back of that doll and then it kind of came to life, maybe it sang or told stories or did something. You are not the doll, which is the human body. You are the batteries, the source of energy that animates and powers that doll. Okay, so really what you are is this beautiful orb of light outside of that human body. If you left that human body, you would see yourself as an orb of light, okay? You are an energy source. This is also why, just side note, when people pass away, how you start their heart again is with like lightning, with like those, I don't remember what those paddles are called, but those paddles that send like electricity or lightning like into the body, and they shock it with all of that to bring it back to life, because the body needs electricity and energy source to be animated. And that's how they can get the heart going again. So you are literally that energy source, the electricity within the body, the batteries within the doll. You are all of those things. Okay, so souls choose through soul contracts to have lifetimes. They're also called incarnations. So if you've ever heard that word before, incarnation, lifetime, same thing. We choose to have these lifetimes, but outside of these lifetimes, who we truly are is the soul within. So you can have many different lives. You could have had hundreds of lives. You could have had thousands of lives. Maybe more, maybe some people even more than thousands. There are some incredibly ancient, wise souls, not only around the multiverse, but here on Earth as well. And so what's special is that the life that you're in, so me as Jenny right now, as the human woman that I chose to be, it isn't who I really am, right? Like the souls, through soul contracts, we choose to play a character. It's like playing a role. And we choose that for a lot of reasons. To learn lessons, to have maybe we have a mission or an Earth mission while we're here, or whatever planet you're on. It could also be about your soul purpose and enriching your soul purpose, which we can do videos on the difference between soul purpose and Earth mission, because they're different. But there are lots of reasons why you choose to have these different lifetimes. But the special thing is that while you're in that lifetime, suddenly there's like this merge that happens between the character that you're playing, and the soul that you are. There's this merge, and they do become one during that lifetime. Maybe not right at the beginning when it's a little bit awkward still, but eventually you do experience that merge. And what happens at that point is that lifetime, that character, Jenny for me, or whatever other lifetimes I've had, they imprint on your soul. They imprint on your soul the essence of that lifetime, of that personality, of that role, that character, that person, that being that you were. It imprints deeply on your soul and never leaves. And then you carry it forward with you into the next life and the next and the next. It becomes a part of who you are. This is called a soul signature. And a soul signature is how every single soul starts out pure, like just white light, this orb of white light, and then over time, throughout these lifetimes, gains its own very specific color and tone and essence and wisdom and personality, traits, all of these things that you develop over these lifetimes. That's what makes your soul unique, like a snowflake. There are no two the same. That's your soul signature. Okay, so then your soul signature, even though it evolves over lifetimes, there are certain characteristics that will show up again and again, right? So these lifetimes are not just like you drop in and you play a character and then you leave and it doesn't matter anymore. It becomes a part of you. It absolutely deeply matters and is ingrained within your soul. So once it's imprinted on your soul, you are still everyone that you have ever been. So now me, keep using myself as an example. So now me, Jenny, this human woman, I am still all of the things that people, beings, I am still everyone that I've ever been. And that's kind of what an awakening is. It's remembering who you really are. Yes, the eternal soul within, but all of these versions, parallel versions of myself. You could call them parallel lives or past lives, whatever you prefer. I am still everyone I've ever been. So it's very multidimensional. And that's why we say you are a multidimensional soul within a multidimensional universe. And it's kind of like how people talk about like rainbow warriors. Well, just think about all those beings that you've been throughout the multiverse on so many different planets, so many different stars and realms, and all of these different kinds of beings. Sometimes you're physical beings, like here on Earth right now, we've all agreed to be these physical humans on a physical planet. But sometimes you've chosen to be non-physical beings, like so no physical shell, but you're still within a lifetime or an incarnation that has soul contracts with a personality and a character that you're playing that will be deeply imprinted on your soul. And maybe that happens to be an angel, a non-physical being in the angelic realms, right? So you are everyone, you are still all of these people that you have ever been. So how do you then find your starseed origins? One like easy truth is that you are all that you have ever been, just like we've been saying. So then really like your starseed origins would be your past lives or your parallel lives. All of them. The answer is all of them, because they are all imprinted on your soul, right? You are this multidimensional rainbow soul of all of these different lifetimes. And so if you've had a lifetime like I have in the Andromedan galaxy, then you would feel a resonance to that. And you would also feel maybe a resonance to the Pleiades or Lyra or Avalon or like lots of different Earth lives. This is why you feel a resonance to more than one starseed origin, and why it doesn't make any sense to just try to narrow it down and just choose one. Like the person at the beginning when I was saying like, I am dear ones, I am a Pleiadian commander from wherever. Okay, you probably played a role or had a lifetime on Pleiades, but that's not all you are. You are so much more than that. And so in a way, only recognizing one aspect of your soul leaves out so much of the depth and wisdom of who you are, because you're more than just that one thing. So truly, you could say the Starseed Origins, you are not just one thing. And you probably, I mean, there's no way that you've had like one other starseed lifetime and then you just came straight here to Earth. You are an old, beautiful, wise soul. You came here to Earth to help, which means you've got all kinds of lifetimes behind you to assist with Earth. So this is why you resonate with more than one starseed origin, because your starseed origins equal your past lives. It's the same thing. So hopefully that resonates with you, but there's still more to this. So that is why you resonate with so many, and to choose just the one, it does leave out much of who you are. But like the Rainbow Warrior, you could embrace the fact that you are a representative of many different worlds, many different star nations. And that's probably exactly what Earth needed at this time. So these old, beautiful, wise Rainbow Warrior souls that are here on Earth and are awakening yourself, if you're watching this, you're an awakening soul. You have aspects of all of the lifetimes that you've ever lived imprinted on your soul, which means aspects of all kinds of different worlds and star nations, which is actually like really special. And like I said, there's no two souls alike. You are this snowflake of a soul. No one's had your exact pattern of lifetimes. No one has your personality. No one has your essence. No one has your soul gifts. You are so one of a kind. It's beautiful. However, there is another truth here. Okay, another truth that can't be denied, that there are many of us that feel a deep resonance, or even I would say like identify with one particular place. Like I'll use myself as an example, or maybe you, or maybe the Pleiadian commander, they really resonate with the Pleiades. And you can't deny that. That's truly how they feel. And there are others that really resonate with Lyra, and I really resonate with Orion. Why is that? If you are this multidimensional soul and all lifetimes are equally imprinted, why would you feel a deep resonance to one? I'm going to answer that question for you now, and I think this will really like enlighten a lot of people about why they feel the way they do. And this should help you. So there's a few answers. Okay, so the first answer is that it could be the last place you had an incarnation. Like maybe the last place before Earth was Pleiades. And it's so fresh in your memory and in your energy that of course you resonate with it. You remember it the most maybe. It's the freshest. That's the simplest of an answer, really. Okay, so either it's the last place or it could have been a favorite place. There are people that are so in love with Avalon that they just continue to go back to Avalon, or maybe Atlantis, or maybe Lemuria. Whatever it is, there was something about that place in particular, those people, that society that rang so true. It's like you finally found home. And then you just continue to incarnate there over and over and over again because you love it. Then that would be somewhere that you would truly identify with so strongly. And I mean, it's as simple as that. Like if it's a favorite, if you love it, you will identify with it the most. Okay, so that's the second reason why somebody would have one that they identify with. The third reason would be there could be great healing needed, and that lifetime is showing up for a reason. It's showing up because there's a trauma that occurred. Maybe you had like a trauma when you were in a mantis lifetime, and so now you just have all of this mantis like memories, awakening, energy. If it's not clear memories, if you're not able to truly like actually see with your, your mind's eye, it still could be a memory energetically or emotionally speaking that shows up like claircognizance, which is just a knowingness, where you're like, I know I'm a mantis being. Every time I see them or read anything about them, it is really resonating with me. It feels like who I am. Okay, well, the reason that that could be is that there was something tragic that happened to you, or some trauma that's trying to come up to be healed. And it will continue to show up and show up and show up until you work through it. So for me personally, this happened with an Earth lifetime during World War II. World War II, I don't know, something about that era and the information, it just gave me chills every time. It was way too familiar. It was like heavy. heavy energy. There was something, there was a trauma there that I had during an Earth lifetime that continued to show up in my dreams. I've talked about it on this channel before, the dreams that I always had, like, it was in the summer of grade 1. I was only in grade 1, which is crazy. And I had this repeating dream every single night for the entire summer. And I was too young to understand what was going on, but that was a lifetime trying to break through. It needed deep healing. It was like a raw wound. It kept coming up until I acknowledged it. That could be another reason why. That could be any lifetime where that happens, okay? And then okay, then what number are we on? 1, 2, 3. The fourth reason, there's 5 total, by the way. The fourth reason that you could be really identifying with a particular star nation or place or constellation or planet is that when you had a lifetime there, when you had a lifetime in Lyra, say, that you developed these gifts. Maybe they were psychic gifts. Maybe they were healing gifts. Maybe they were, it could be anything. Ambassador gifts, like about how to, work with, be a mediator and be an ambassador and create peace, like a peacekeeper. Maybe that was the talent that you were like really nurturing in that lifetime. Whatever it was, it could be anything, truly anything. That soul gift is trying to come through because you need it now, here and now in this lifetime. If that's the case, that lifetime will continue to come up and come up and come up. It's like, okay, we need your peacekeeping abilities from Lyra, or we need your warrior energy of that roaring your voice and standing up for what's right, whatever it is. And it doesn't just have to be Lyra, it could be anywhere. The soul gift that you created and nurtured and was imprinted on your soul at that time is now needed. And the amazing thing about soul gifts, okay, is that we can reach into our soul, like any one of our lifetimes, and pull from the talents and gifts that we created in that lifetime, that we nurtured, that we grew, that we learned. So if you were a manifesting wizard in Avalon, and you really need manifestation right now, you could pull from that version of yourself because it's still who you are. Remember, you are still everyone you've ever been. Those gifts, those talents, they didn't disappear. They are in your soul and they just need to be unlocked. I love soul gifts so much. Let me know if you'd like a whole video about soul gifts because they're super, super interesting. And there's lots of information I could share about that. But that's the fourth reason why you might be really identifying with one particular spot, because the talents and the gifts that you created in that lifetime are needed now. And maybe you can see in your life where that's happening. Maybe you really need to be a manifestor right now. Maybe you really need to be a peacekeeper right now. Maybe you're coming into some really powerful healing abilities. Maybe you took a Reiki course and now you're feeling like you want to go further. Like there's something deep within your soul that's totally unique. And it got sparked by learning about energy healing, but you need to do it in a different way. I've actually helped so many people with that exact issue, specific issue, where say they are an Arcturian healer and they're trying to remember their Arcturian healing. What technique did I use? I know I'm supposed to bring it here on Earth and I'm able to unlock that with them through working with them one-on-one. So, I mean, that could be that's the fourth reason of why you might be really identifying with just one place, okay? Even though your starseed origins are all of your past lives, these are the reasons why you might just be identifying with one. Okay, the final reason is the most mystical and super exciting to talk about. The fifth most intriguing reason has to do with nebulas. Okay, so nebulas are nurseries within the universe. They are the place where stars are born. And most constellations have at least one, maybe more, nebulas. So not only are they a place where stars are born, but they are the place where souls are born. Okay, so just stay with me on this. Yes, I know we all come from God's source. We are all that pure white light from God's source, but God's source is pure consciousness, okay, and nothing more really. So God's source, say, makes the decision to take a piece of consciousness and make it into a focal point, which is what a soul is. A soul is just a focal point of a greater consciousness, a focal point that's narrowed down into this one, like, again, if we use me, a focal point that is like this narrow funnel of God consciousness that comes down into, oh, now I'm having the experience of a woman on earth. I am that focal point right now. I am that soul, okay? So the focal point is the soul that can have all these different incarnations, which mean lifetimes, but the soul needs to be born first. So the soul is a piece of consciousness of God that needs to become that orb of light that we talked about, that lives between all of the different incarnations and lifetimes. It continues to live in between. I've talked before about the in-between place. Some people call it heaven. It's where a soul goes in between lifetimes. That's where you get your life review that they show you on that big holographic screen. That's where you do a lot of healing in different healing chambers, healing pods. That's where you meet up with friends and family. And that's where you plan with your council for your next lifetime and you create soul contracts. So there's this in-between place, okay? And then the incarnation is the lifetime or the character that you're playing. Hopefully it's okay that you're still following along with all of this. Okay, so the focal point, before the soul can start on its journey of lifetimes, it is sent by God's source to be born through a nebula, just like a star is born. And that's why the saying, we are made of the stuff of stars. You are literally made of stardust. Oh, that could not be more true now that I know this about nebulas. Okay, so what nebula were you born into? So that is a very like mystical, amazing truth about your soul. And another reason, the fifth reason, why you might identify with one place more than the other. So you are this orb of light that is a pure white light when you are first born, and you come out of this nebula, and then you immediately go into the like in-between heavenly place. You're gathered up by the angels and brought to this in-between place where you are then you then choose, like, what do you want your first incarnation to be? And again, I mean, I could talk forever about this kind of stuff because it's so fascinating, but most people choose to have an angelic incarnation first, like 99% of people, because it's a very gentle move to go from just being the pure consciousness of God, and now you're this individual orb of light is very shocking. Even though it sounds beautiful and gentle, it's very shocking to the system because you were just bathing in the bliss of the all. You were the all, that all consciousness, that oneness. And now you're individual, and it can be scary at first. So the first incarnation is generally a gentle one, like a parallel move into an angelic realm where you're not physical yet. You're not going to do that to yourself yet. You're going to just, for the first couple of lifetimes, absorb, observe, really just take in what it means to have even a lifetime at all. And yeah, anyway, I won't go on because this video will go on and on forever, but let me know anything, always video requests. I'm open to them. Anything you want to know more about, just let me know. Okay, so then you're this pure, beautiful orb of light. And then at that point, once you're the orb of light, you choose the lifetimes that you're going to have. So, the physical incarnations, which happen on physical planets and stars, or the non-physical incarnations, which happen in realms or dimensions. Those two words can actually be pretty interchanged as well. Realms and dimensions, non-physical. So the nebula that you're born into would definitely affect the essence. Remember, everything is like a signature on your soul, an essence, a feeling, an energy. And it makes you unique right from the start, right from the get-go. So even though you're this pure white soul, this little orb of light that hasn't even had a lifetime yet, what you're born into, the nebula that you're born through, is your first imprint, right? So again, if I use myself as an example, I was born into the Orion Nebula, which is just below Orion's belt. So to me, I will always be a citizen of Orion. That's just how I'll always feel. And to me, that is probably, if I had to choose one starseed origin, that is what I resonate with the most, would be in Orion. That's home to me, right? So I have taken my members. I have a Starseed Academy membership group. We have events every week together live on Zoom. I have taken my members to the Orion Nebula, where all of this information came through that I'm now sharing with you. And I've taken them to the Andromedan Nebula. And each time we go to a nebula, I'm always interested to see, okay, who felt like this was home and who felt like a visitor? And there's usually maybe at least one person that's found their home, found their nebula birthplace, found where their journey began. It's so beautiful. Like, no words. So if you are really interested in this kind of information and you are really vibing with like the style of esoteric or metaphysical information, it's resonating with you, it's calling to you, the first thing I would suggest is for you to join the membership so that you can find out so much about yourself, learn so much. We do just incredible things in that membership. We also strengthen our psychic gifts, our ability to astral travel. We go deep, we do group readings, and we do things like visiting nebulas, like just magical things. And then another way that I can work with you if you're wanting to go deeper is having an Akashic reading, because an Akashic reading with me will tell you some of your past lives, okay? And remember, the Starseed Origins are simply your past lives. Okay, so I hope that this video really resonated for you and that you maybe had some light bulbs go off, maybe realizing that I have more than one starseed origin because I've lived all of these lifetimes. But the reason that this one origin, Pleiadian maybe say, is really resonating with me is because one of those 5 reasons. It was either the last place you were, or it was your favorite place, or there's healing that needs to be done and that's why that lifetime is arising, or there's soul gifts that I had in that life that I need to use now to complete my earth mission, or that was where the nebula within that, area was where my soul was born. So let me know what you think about this video. Do you understand Starseed Origins in a more simplified way? I know there's still a lot to it, but isn't it beautiful? Isn't it so incredible to think that that's truly who you are? You are so much more than you realize yourself to be. You are still everyone that you have ever been inside, imprinted within your soul. So thank you so much for joining me here again for another video. I love you all so much. Please think about, joining the membership. It's such an incredible place to be if this resonates for you. Or remember that the Akashic reading is something that can really help you as well, working one-on-one with me. And then, of course, remember to like and share this video. This video is a great one to share because I think that it would really help a lot of people to kind of like clarify what's going on within them and all of these resonances and feelings that they're having. And also comment below, what do you resonate with? Like, let me know, what are your starseed origins? After hearing all of this, I'll be looking in the comments to see, where are you from? What do you resonate with? Is there one that you identify with more than the other? And do you know why? But maybe you resonate with like a bunch, and that's amazing too, and very true. That's why it's true. Okay, so I love you all. Before we go, please remember, listen to your heart and the quiet voice within, because you are so much more than the body you are in. I love you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.